What's up, guys? What's up, guys? Lost a little bit of my voice. What's up, everyone? It is way too early here in Singapore, but you know what? I just happened to, I just fed Haley and I woke up to excellent news. There is a partnership going on. Well, it's no secret. If you have been on the Qtum Telegram chat, we are going to see an announcement on another large partnership that obviously is going to form the QEA that is going to be happening, that I've been talking about for months now. Nothing new, right? Finally, everything starts to be firmed up. As you can see, if you had bought based on my recommendations prior to this video, you would already be up roughly around anywhere from 15 to 20% as of now. Now, obviously, there are people who do not know what they bought. Well, Qtum is basically a smart contract platform that is focused on the UTXO basically built on the Bitcoin blockchain together with smart contract features of Ethereum. So they are basically able to function faster, and at the same time they have an extensive library of projects and decentralized applications that's already currently being built on Qtum as we speak. So a few notable projects that are on the way, which is Qtum, and we have Inc, we have Space Chain that is potentially coming out or ICOing soon. At the same time, we have Bodhi. We have 17 decentralized applications that are being built on Qtum as we speak. And as we all know, Qtum is very well loved, in various regions, in Korea specifically. If you look at the charts, if you look at Qtum is actually trading at a 38% premium, a premium on Bithumb, which is, as we can see from CoinMarketCap right now, it's trading at 83.4. Let me just refresh this for you. So it's trading, okay, fine. So it's trading close to $85, and there seems to be quite a bit of a spread when it comes to Bittrex and Binance. All right, there's this premium. So just take note that if you are someone who's very new to this space, right? You don't even know what Qtum does. I have been a long-term investor in Qtum, no secret. It's all about what's your preference, right? So if you had got in the previous, based on the previous video, or you trust the recommendations that come from my channel, congratulations to you. But nonetheless, my take is that I'm going to be staying invested in this coin. So happened that it went up, great. Also take note that there is a very strong BTC. Okay, there's a very strong BTC that's going on right now. It is more on the higher side. When I mentioned to sell off altcoins, that was a perfect move to go into BTC. That allowed me to re-enter with my BTC into Qtum. So not only did I create a new stack of BTC, but if based on my choice, I could actually accumulate more Qtum, which is what I did. So this strategy is working out pretty well for 7 days into January. I'm actually quite close to hitting my ROI, or my return on investment, for June, right? So it's doing pretty well. Like I said, I think in the cryptocurrency markets, this whole space is extremely volatile. So if you are someone who is happy with the current return, you may choose to wait for the partnership to kind of be announced. Well, usually, as they say, buy the rumor, sell the news. This isn't a rumor, it's just a matter of how large or who is the partnership. So as we all know, there are going to be 50,000 nodes that are going to be added by Huawei, who is also partnering with Qtum. There is going to be an announcement of a 100 million user database that is going to be coming onto Qtum as well. That's going to add 10 million users. That's also another thing as well. So there are many partnerships that are being formed at the moment. So it's just a matter of what is your preference. So this is just well, if you're someone who has not entered yet, my suggestion is don't risk it, because it's currently trading at 350,000 sats, not 35k sats, 350k sats. All right, it's a $60 coin. So if you decide to enter now, you are running the risk of actually being sold down upon, because people may choose to dump after the news. So I have to be very, very careful, and also making sure that you who are new, you don't even know anything about this space, you're someone who is just seeing this video for the very first time, you should not enter now because you kind of missed it. My suggestion is there are two scenarios that you can get in. If there's going to be a dump after the news, okay, you can probably enter because BTC is very, very strong. So I would assume that you currently have BTC at the moment and would like to probably participate in Qtum's very excellent fundamental strategy, and also they are doing very, very well in this space. It's your choice. Currently they're only at about 5.4 billion market cap, not very big for a smart contract platform that is so established. We all know that Cardano is taking a huge dump at the moment because it went up to 31 billion. Currently now it is probably tapered off maybe a good 20-30%, which is fine, right? Being that you ran up 500% in the previous month, why not have a nice break? All right, so this is one of the things that you have to take note on. So at the moment, as we can see, it is a very, very strong green candle. Could there be a potential of a breakout above? I already put a marker at 0.0042. Not that I would do anything, okay? As everyone knows, I'm more of an accumulator more than anything. I already know I'm really someone who has been invested in Qtum for a very, very long time. So you don't have to like worry, ask me what am I doing, what should I do. It's all about what you want to do and what you are comfortable with, right? It's decision making time. So this video is just to help you out in terms of analyzing, making you you're probably a little bit euphoric if you had bought, but nonetheless I think it's more about choices. Every time that we make a decision, so there's another thing that I must highlight as well. There is a potential that this could be a double up, meaning that it could be a sequential amount of announcements that will be coming out in sequence that could bring the price up to the next level. So what's the next level? Obviously, to break past $50, it could hover at $75. No one really knows. So this is a potential as well. As I mentioned, that this was the exact same pattern that I saw in Ethereum beginning of the year in 2016. Okay, sorry, in the beginning of 2017. Sorry to correct me on that. In the beginning of 2017, before Chinese New Year, during February, it was the exact same pattern. So Ethereum was hovering, doing nothing, $9 to $12. It had the DAO hack. It took a dive, a nosedive, right? And then after that, before Chinese New Year, on the 7th of February, I mentioned on my Facebook page, go and buy Ethereum below $11. And after that, it shot up like astronomically, and it never ever came down ever again. So this is literally the same pattern. Okay, it's literally the same pattern, except it's so much more accelerated because Qtum's mainnet actually came out in September of 2017. Now it's only January the 1st. Obviously, the altcoins market is very, very hot. We are now currently at 800 billion and continuously trending up. Obviously, is pushing towards 1 trillion. But could we see a sell down because of the Chinese miners manipulating the Bitcoin price before Chinese New Year? Possible as well. So there are a lot of scenarios that could occur. So it's just about making the decision and what's the right play for yourself. All right. So that being said, there are a lot of projects that I've mentioned through my videos. We have Qtum, we have Kyber Network, we have I'm looking into Loopring. I'm also looking into I'm looking into basically very few coins at the moment, guys. I did mention Cardano. That ran up very, very hot, very, very quickly. People who got in at 11 cents have already 5x'd their returns. People who entered into Qtum also have already made a substantial return on that as well. A lot of good things are happening this year, but nonetheless, let's not avoid the FUD, the potential regulatory implications coming into this space. There are a lot of things. So guys, remember that today you have an opportunity to make money in this space. Try not to be greedy, okay? Especially if you're new. 20% is actually an excellent return. But like I said, if you're not very familiar with Qtum, as in you don't understand what they do fundamentally, or you have not been following them before prior to watching this video or when you entered the trade, try to understand one thing. You are in a good coin. You are fundamentally in a good coin, but you have to be more patient, being that you're coming in at $50. I'm someone who came in at $16, and I've been accumulating when it even went down to $9. Okay, this is how people invest. When things are not hot, you buy. When things are hot, you decide whether you want to sell or you're going to hodl in this case. So it's a matter of choices. Partnerships are being formed up. When these partnerships are formed up, usually it always takes the price of a particular cryptocurrency or a project to the next level. It's very, very simple. Also, like I said, why Qtum is successful as a smart contract platform is because there are so many decentralized applications being built on it, meaning that developers are seeing the actual use cases that are going to solve real world problems. This is what it means. So if you go and look at how Ethereum has been forming its partnerships with all the current enterprises of the world, that is your hint. I shall not speak anymore. You go and make the decision, and congratulations for all those who made money. Okay, so now I'm going to take a little bit of questions. Are you still invested in Qtum? No, I have already taken profit in Qtum. I have yet to see certain further developments in Qtum, but I will revisit it at a later date. Okay, Peter, having 20 altcoins in portfolio is too much, right? How would you evaluate the different options of having 5 or less alts, or 10 to 15 and 20? Because I'm not sure that any of these options is wrong. Just so you know, okay, just so you know that having 20 coins in your portfolio is basically like you dating a girl every day. Okay, so you have like you have 20 girls that you have decided to date. That's all good, being a player and all, but I bet you don't even remember half of their names, right? So after a while, you'll fuck up on all the details, which you are currently doing now, and you won't even know how to follow and update yourself accurately. So let me just tell you how many coins do I have at the moment. I only have 4 coins. Those 4 coins are going to take me through this whole year, and I'm going to make a shitload of money on those 4 coins. That's how I let it roll. So Tahir, email me. I don't respond to private messages. Chuck Adams, why did Patrick Dye never disclose that what he did with the funds he took during the Bitstamp fiasco? Chuck Adams, that has already been answered. Go and search. He's basically being accused of it. I think you reading about it, you're a bit slow, you're a bit late. Being that you've not been following, you probably have not even watched my interview. Go and watch my interview with Patrick Dye. He explains exactly what happened during the whole the whole Bitstamp thing. It's not Bitstamp, it's some other project. So that he was accused of taking the money, but actually he did not take the money. He was just holding it for them, and eventually he returned all the other. He was also an investor in the project, by the way. Well, maybe he doesn't. Well, maybe he doesn't need to. Now, let me tell you about something about scams. If you are always focused on what bad stuff is being written about an individual or a company, but you fail to see all the positive things that are happening. Now, would a scammer or a accused scammer be invited to blockchain forums in Switzerland and being able to speak in front of thousands with regards to pioneering the next evolution or revolution in blockchain technology? Would you partner, or at least build partnerships and establishment, if he was truly having that kind of reputation? That means he loves to screw people over. Would you? Would Tim Draper, who is of course where he graduated from the university, even bothered to even come continuously speak to such a person? Would Huawei still work with him if he was really a scammer? My friend, Just because you read some shit over the internet doesn't mean that it's always legit. How long term is EOS? Okay, EOS would obviously be pretty long term, being that they have a lot of VC funding, about 1B and above. So if you look at it from this point of angle, being that Dan Larimer and of course Brock Pierce is a long-term investor in the space. You also have Dan Larimer, who was famed for creating Steemit. So they have a lot of VC funding. Now, if you look at these kind of talents coming into the space, well, like I said, EOS doesn't have anything at the moment. Let's assume that they are going to perform. Let's wait and see, because EOS I got in when it was like based on the Dollar Vigilante shilling, right? Dollar Vigilante mentioned that buy it below $2. Ever since then, EOS has went up all the way until $11. I based it on that, and I purchased it. Okay, I made some money. I sold it off. Alam Junior, yeah. With regards to Quantstamp, it's, well, I repeat myself again. It is looking at accounting and auditing of smart contract platforms. Now, being that there are so many smart contract platforms, they have to kind of automate this whole auditing and accounting system. So I have to look into it again. I was supposed to have an opportunity to interview the CEO, Richard Ma, but it was the holiday period, so I could not take that interview. Perhaps maybe we could revisit that and of course get more insights about the developments in Quantstamp. Is Litecoin going to go any higher? Slim Boss, actually right now, Litecoin has already had its run from $60. It went up all the way until a high of close to $300. And of course, because of BTC's current strength, it corrected quite heavily. So let me maybe give you my 5 cents worth about what Litecoin is kind of doing. So we all know that Charlie Lee sold off, or at least put everything, all his Litecoin holdings into the foundation. This leads me to believe that he doesn't want to be one of the majority holders, because there is a potential that he or at least Litecoin could form futures in the future, right? There could be a Litecoin futures in the future, but not before maybe Ethereum futures or Litecoin, before Ethereum futures, right? Because you're always looking at market cap, and you cannot just have Bitcoin futures. It kind of like, there's only one thing that the banks can invest in, which is only Bitcoin futures. There's Litecoin, there's also Ethereum. So in order for so-called that to happen, you must, especially if you're so-called a holder or someone who owns so many of these coins, you can easily manipulate. So he has already publicly declared that he let go majority of his Litecoin. So that is what I kind of foresee, because don't forget, Bobby Lee is his brother. So I've always wondered whether or not there were connections. I assume definitely, there's always that, but let's not speculate. At the end of the day, this is just the way the world works. It's all about relationships. It's all about building partnerships, and that's how you get around and make money in this space. Okay, so is now a good time for Qtum? I think the good thing about Qtum is that it's the vision of what they're trying to create. They plan to be the WeChat on quantum blockchain. Now, that's a very, very big statement. As we all know, WeChat is a very, very popular app. It's like your WhatsApp, but has so many functionalities that China uses. You can send money via WeChat, and also you can create like a story, like a storyboard where you put up your pictures and all that through WeChat. You can create groups. It's very interactive. So Qtum is trying to do that, and that is why if you look at Qtum's price, it's actually also going up in tandem together with Quantum. So yeah, it's one of those things. Yes, with regards to the, with regards to the paid member, it is 200 USD per month. And you can email us at info@cryptogrinders.com with an S. All right. So please put premium group as the header so that we know that you're interested to join the premium group. However, we are going to be closing our application very, very soon. The reason why we're even kind of dragging the registration is because it was the holiday period where we had Christmas and New Year and a lot of people traveling. So everyone who paid kind of missed their Discord invite link. So they didn't get the Discord invite, or at least it kind of expired, or it went to the spam mail, and then after that we had to like kind of redo everything. So we're kind of like clearing up the backlog, but also we want to give people a little bit of a chance, being that they are probably coming back from traveling, and if they are still interested to join the premium group, they can, because the premium group always gets first-hand information, and also at the same time they get the information faster, because to create a video is always dependent on the time, whether I'm at home. But when I think about something, the premium group always hears my thoughts first. I can just easily message, hey guys, let's do this, let's buy this, these are my thoughts, what do you think, should we sell, should we buy, what are we gonna do? You know, all these strategies are just so much faster when you have a small closed group. You know, it's just people able to connect with my team and also with my thoughts. Thoughts on the BTC and BTC dominance? Well, Ali Atari, I think you've been watching a couple of my videos already with regards to this. I feel that it's just very simple. Being that last year was the very first year that the crypto markets exploded, BTC dominance has always been a very important indicator to decide whether or not BTC is going to kill off all alts as it usually has, which in this case, when BTC is going up, it's, as you can see, when it's going back up to the $18,000 range, the altcoins are all like starting to taper off. So I kind of noticed that whenever there's like a 5% increase, altcoins tend to take anywhere from 10 to 15%. If it's a 10% increase, altcoins take a hit of anywhere from 20 to 30%. So it also depends on how fundamentally sound these coins are, because it's the same thing. So hear me out. If you have a very strong Bitcoin and you're in a shit coin, your coin is going to dump straight away. Usually in most cases, it's just gonna dump because no one has faith in it. Everyone's like panicking that Bitcoin is going up. They're losing Satoshis on their current shitcoin trade. Then obviously it's gonna have a more significant dump compared to if you were to say compare it to Qtum, for example. When Bitcoin was going up, Qtum was like kind of like losing maybe 10%. But everything that had run up so parabolically, you would see a 20% to 30% correction compared to a 10% correction. So it depends on how's the community like, right? Because when you have a community of hodlers who understand the long-term vision of a project, it's very normal. Everyone will just hold the token. No one gives a shit about what Bitcoin is going to do, right? Because they're not here for the short term. They are here to see the developments and see it through, and that's why they hodl. It's very simple. Hey Richard, well, the renewal process is not ready yet. I'm glad you are making money in the group already. You can renew only in the middle of the month. Don't worry, man. You will have an opportunity to renew. But thank you so much for that vote of confidence. Okay. All right. So Stax has asked this question. Okay, Ryan, you are given 10,000 to invest. You have 0 coins. You have to invest all 10,000. What would you invest in? That's a very, very specific question. Okay, right now, okay, I think you're starting out. Okay, let me put the question back to you. You're starting out. You're very new to the space. You want to obviously make money in this space, right? So let's just look at one thing. I personally love, and this is my personal opinion, my personal strategy, I don't like to buy stuff when it's on hype. What does it mean? When it's on hype means that, for example, let's ignore this portion. Let's say it goes up like crazily here. Okay, let's say it goes up crazily here, and you know, you're seeing a coin for the very first time, right? I would rather buy up coins when they are like this, or at least they're consolidating like this. Okay, this is my take. I would buy stuff like that. I don't buy it when everyone's talking about it. Okay, I'm very, very opposite. I will do the opposite of what the market does, because 90% of traders are usually losing money because they don't know anything about what they're doing. So always kind of, you have to take a contrarian approach. Not all the time. In this space, right, it seems that everyone can make money pretty easily. If you join some random ICO, you left it on your mule, and then suddenly you made money in the next 3 to 6 months, it's very, very possible, even though they probably have no fundamentals. Because this whole space, everybody kind of wants to test out and invest. So you want to be invested in the top coins. Now, you must be thinking what coins to buy. Now, I don't want to be someone who holds back much information, but I think it's always good to maintain a certain level of, confidentiality, because like I said, we run a premium group and it's a paid service. If you really want the whole lowdown, you can always email us at info@cryptogrinders.com. From then, you will know exactly from a portfolio allocation perspective, all the different members and what they are having now in their portfolio. That would be even better. But for now, always start off with what is moving in the market that has the best volume and has been around the most. So Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum are usually your go-to cryptocurrencies. The next thing is you have to understand that altcoins do serve a purpose in this ecosystem. Without altcoins, this whole blockchain space is going to be very, very boring, because it's not really moving towards anything. Because no matter what, when you create an infrastructure on top of the internet, you're moving towards problem solving with blockchain technology. So there are companies that have raised money via ICO. Why do they raise money via ICO? Because they don't want to give up equity in their company. ICOs are a great way to accelerate the fundraising process and at the same time maintain equity in that particular project, but allowing the masses to participate in a particular vision, goal, or problem solving situation for the real world. So if you're talking about altcoins, Qtum is a very good project, but would I buy Qtum now if I have that $10,000? No, I would not, because it's already way too hot. It's considered parabolic. I would not touch it. But if you have a long-term vision and you know where this particular project is going, then obviously buying now doesn't matter. But in my personal opinion, I'm someone who likes to enter when things are on the cheap or consolidated. I would rather you wait, then you decide on picking up your altcoins. Now, another one would be Kyber Network. Kyber Network is the other coin that I am very bullish on this year. As you can see, maybe I should move my screen a little bit. Kyber Network is basically consolidated at the moment. Let me move away my screen so that you can see where am I at. Okay, so if you look at Kyber Network, it is very boring, right? It's very boring. It doesn't do much stuff. I picked it up at 14,000 Satoshis. I also told my premium group that I picked it up at 0.0183. I also told them that I did that, during a consolidation period. So in the last month, in the month of December, I just picked up the boring Kyber Network. And of course, right now, there are certain trades that are doing my two positions are already doing very, very well, being that it's holding up at the 22,000 Satoshi mark. So, I'm looking into Kyber Network. This is a decentralized exchange, if you're wondering. So if you're thinking about investing, always look from a portfolio diversification perspective, meaning that you never go all in with all your life savings or whatever into one particular coin. That is just the wrong move. And at the same time, you should never diversify across like 20, 30 coins, right? And try to get lucky on one. Okay, be focused. Make sure you focus your capital wisely, because your capital at risk is like your ammunition. You're going to war. You don't want to just be spraying bullets all over the fucking place and end up you kill nobody. Okay, I hope that I made myself very, very clear. You want to be focused, you want to look at which particular cryptocurrency, make sure you've done your research. Don't listen to some random YouTuber, including myself. Don't listen to a random YouTuber and just because he says this is fucking awesome or it's his top 5 picks and you go and blindly go and buy it. Please take some time off your day to go and read the white paper. Join the Telegram chat or the Slack channel, especially if you are a developer. You can ask very in-depth questions from the technical side. If you're someone who's very familiar with business, start talking to the community, get a feel, speak to the marketing, or even if you have the opportunity to speak to the CEO. Like, for example, Crypto Grinders has interviewed 12 projects out there from Komodo to Robin 8, Qtum. We've spoken to Spectre. Spectre's doing very well. Pundi X. We have spoken to so many projects, guys, and we speak to the CEOs, the CFOs. We also spoke to Wax Token, right? So all these things, we get great insights from the projects, whether or not they're legit, whether they're here to just have a money grab. From the interviews, you can decipher whether these projects are going to be solid or not. You kind of had to do that kind of due diligence, right? Watch those 1-hour interviews. Don't just because it's like freaking, you want to watch a 15-minute review and then after you make a decision. That is just blindly throwing money. Maybe if it's a few $100s, even if it's a few $100s, that few $100s can actually be a lot for some people, especially if you're from a developing country, right? So it's always good to be spending your money wisely and not just throwing at it just because everyone's saying that this cryptocurrency market is damn hot. Please don't listen to the roaches or at least the YouTubers that are always pumping the low cap coins. That is just despicable, man. So yeah, just wanted to share that with you. I think it's very, very clear. Okay, I noticed many have switched from to Binance over Bittrex. What is the reason? Okay, people are switching. People are switching from Bittrex to Binance. You mean? Because okay, Binance is now blocking new registrations. I think they are basically cleaning up their system, so they're not allowing people to enter. Then there's going to be other there's going to be other exchanges that are popping out. So I heard there's KuCoin that has some kind of referral program. So does Binance. There is Bittrex that you could use as well. But Bittrex, you have to be very, very careful. Don't put in false information when you're doing your KYC because they are going to shut down your account if you come from a sanctioned country or a country that kind of like, because guys, they want to be compliant. They don't want to get shut down. They've been running for 5 years, so they're not going to jeopardize their business because of you. So if you put in false information and you've been running, you've basically been putting false information. That means they did your KYC and suddenly they found out that you're not who you are. Yeah, they're gonna lock down your account. You've pumped in 20,000. They're gonna lock it down. After that, basically you're screwed. Okay, so don't try to do some shit. Alright, so okay, I have a little bit of money in OMG. What do you think? Well, OMG has been doing very well, very well. Lefaniciste.com. Yeah, OMG has been doing pretty well. Just have to wait. You just have to wait for them to release their wallet and their mainnet. And then from then you will see probably the price double from there. Usually in most cases it's like that. And by the way, Omise Go has already had they have a parent company called Omise that focuses on payment channels already. It's a very large database in Japan and also in Korea, in Japan and in Thailand. Yeah, so you have that. I liked the video, then had to unlike it just to be able to like it back. Thanks so much, man. Yes, the Chinese video portal giant Bao Feng. Yes, that's one of the announcement, guys. That's not the announcement that's coming out in let's see what's the countdown now. In 6 hours. So that is no, the basically the announcement is going to be quite big. I'm very excited. I don't really know. I'm not really sure what that's going to be, but yeah. I've heard a lot about the recent coins like Request Network, and you have shucks, help me out, guys. I look at coins very, very slow. Okay, you guys are so much faster. You are always reading on the next thing very, very quickly. But here at Crypto Grinders, we are looking at very, very sound, fundamentally strong cryptocurrencies, right? So we take our time to invest in the coins. We also take a lot of time researching before we put it out there. So we are like kind of the screen for our premium group members, because when we say something, don't forget that the channel is not a small channel. I'm not like Data Dash or anything like that, but at the end of the day, I do have an amount of influence in this space, and I take it upon myself as an influencer, someone who has done investments and financial advisory professionally for 6.5 years. I take that upon myself. I kind of shoulder that burden when I do mention something, although this is not financial advice, but my personal opinion. I still take care about what I say, because if I don't take care about what I say and someone who is very new to the space just buys on my opinion, they lose money, they don't know why. It's kind of sad, because I think making investment, basically investing in this space, you always have to be well informed. Just like any financial decision, guys. You want to buy a home, you make sure you go and visit multiple homes with your broker before you even step into the space, or at least decide to put down your deposit for your home. It makes sense. You're not going to see the home for the very first time and just say, hey, this is it. You're going to check out 5 to 10 other homes because it's a big ticket item. You have to think this way when you invest in this space. Don't think just because you can put in $10 to $100, which you can. That's the beauty about cryptocurrencies. You can put in very little. In the stock market, you are so priced out that you cannot do that in the stock market. Yes, you can buy one share, especially for American exchanges. And same thing, people like to buy the whole unit. So you like to buy a whole unit of Facebook, or you like to buy 10 pieces of Facebook. But then you think to yourself, why should I buy 10 shares of Facebook when I can go and use that exact same money to buy into a penny stock? But penny stocks tend to also not have as much credibility compared to, say, for example, a business like Facebook that has been around and established. You know what I'm saying? So people tend to want to do that. I kind of see that in this market. They don't care about what's the coin supply. They don't care about what's the market cap like. They don't care about what the technology or what kind of team they have, what kind of partnerships they're forming, who are the financial backers. All these things are out of consideration, because you know why? They don't know how to look at all these things. They just go to a YouTuber and the YouTuber says, buy this is my choice, and then after that, oh, okay, just because he has 100,000 subscribers, he's the god, whatever he says will work. That's not how it works, guys. Okay, so yeah, guys, I think hey, what's up, Louis? So I think this space has a long way to go. So my personal thoughts are about this space is that we still have a long way to go, because we are now at the cusp of a 1 trillion market cap. This space is obviously at least valued 10 trillion easy. Okay, so we have a long way to go. But are we gonna experience much volatility, pullbacks, disappointments, failures, hacks, regulations breathing down this space's throat? Yes, we are, because we are considered early adopters. Now, are we as early as the tech geeks and whatnot? No, right? Because they came in during the time when it was just purely mining. It was just purely about the whole excitement, the cyberpunk movement, against centralization. Everyone just wants to share and help this move forward. Now, because there's this altcoin market and Bitcoin gains so much value, that this whole space is all about making money all the time. And I assure you, people who are strong on the development side, they're not interested about what we think. They're very focused on making sure that this project does well, and that's all they think about. the money is the byproduct to them, because they want to create liberalization for this space, right? Because through this space, you can kind of break away from the centralized governments and centralized financial system. You are able to bank the unbanked or unbank the bank, right? You are able to provide, you are able to allow people to have access to financial services that previously they could not. You can now do borderless payments across the globe without having to wait long queues at the bank or at a remittance service. And these are the things that are being created at the moment, guys, and we are seeing all these things happen before our eyes. If you don't deny that this is a kind of a evolution or revolution, then I think you really need to sit back, go and watch more Andreas Antonopoulos, watch that guy. You gradually understand why this space is so exciting. All right, so with that being said, we are at the end of the stream. Have a great weekend, and also, if you're someone who is very new, don't forget to like, comment, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on that notification button so that when I come on, you are able to catch my stream. All right, so Ryan from Crypto Grinders signing off.